Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I'm back with another video. Today's video is featuring some products from Trinity Stamps. I am using the Party Snake, the Tardy Turtle, and the Fantastic little walrus guy. The birthday Simply Sentimental set, the layered confetti, and then I showed you the balloons, but I didn't use them. So you may have guessed by the title, this video is really just going to be story time. We'll have a little bit of card instruction, but if you would like more specific instruction, you can find that over on the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel, and I will link that below in the description. Speaking of linking below in the description, today I will obviously... let me talk about what I'm doing real quick. So here I'm just figuring out what my layout is. So that way when I put my little scene together, the whole premise was I really love these little 3x4 sets. You know, when I first started crafting, I was broke. I had to budget like crazy. And sometimes even though you're on a budget, like you want something that is a little new, something that's, you know, that you don't have that you can kind of play with. And so these little 3x4 stamp sets, I love. If you guys watch my channel for a while, you know that that's true. In this case, I'm going to use 3 different ones to create a little birthday scene card, but any one of these could be used as a focal point. And they come with other little things too. Like this little walrus comes with a cup of coffee, which is so stinking cute. And one of the sentiments says long in the tooth, but still full of youth. I think that's adorable. Anyway, they have other little things that come with them along with the sentiments, and then they have matching dies. Caveat is the little snake, the little party snake, he only comes as a bundle, so you only get him with his companion die, and I think it's like $13. But anyway, so let's talk about what I was talking about with the linking. Tonight, I am going to be on the famous craft roulette game show. I think it starts at 7 p.m. my time, which is Eastern, and it's 6 p.m. Central or something. But anyway, if you like watching me color and listening to me talk, and also maybe watching me struggle to try to figure out something, because if you aren't familiar with the premise, like it's roulette, like you just get what you get. The wheel gives you what it gives you. This is my second time being on the show. The first time was several years ago, and it gave me red, yellow, and purple as a combination. Like, could it have been worse? I don't know. I would have preferred monochromatic, honestly. But so we'll hope that the wheel is kind to me tonight, and I'm able to come up with something crafty on the fly. Talking about what I'm doing here, this layered confetti stencil has been around for a long time. This was like way back when Trinity released, but it's a really great one. So you have like your regular confetti at the top, and then if you flip it around, it will give you like these little streamers or little ribbons, so you can get several different looks out of this stencil, even though it's only 2 stencils, and I'm using all of them, every single one of them, in a rainbow. Who's shocked? Nobody. Rainbow, nothing says a party like a rainbow vibe, if you ask me. But anyway, so if you would like to watch the craft roulette, I will link that below in the description. I'll also share it over on the community page. I would greatly appreciate your support, because, you know, I can answer questions and all that stuff, but also I'm fairly nervous when it comes to going live, especially when it's not something that I've put together. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to be making, because I have no idea what the parameters are going to be until you get whatever the wheel gives you. So yeah, so there's that. Couple of other things. There's some really great sales going on right now. Spellbinders is having a huge sale. Honeybee Stamps is having a huge, like 20% off, in addition to their already discounted prices on their sales section. And I will have a video for that tomorrow with some of the things that they're getting rid of, just because I need to have like my one last opportunity to really put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because I love them. Some of them I am really sad to see go. I've been with Honeybee a long time, and whenever they get rid of a set like you truly love, it's a sad time. But anyway, so there's that. Aaron Lee Creative is also having a sale. Lots of sales going on this weekend. So if you're looking to pick something up and would like to shop through my links, I would greatly, greatly appreciate any support that you are offering. Okay, so what do we have for story time? What do I even have? The last couple of story times have been all about my trip to Cape Cod, but I'm pretty sure that we have exhausted that little foray out into the world. What have I done since then? We talked quite a bit in those story times. We talked quite a bit about like my travel anxiety. And so one of the things in my therapy, like talking to my therapist, that she had suggested to help me with my anxiety was like working on your breathing and like purposeful, concentrated breathing was one of the things that she had recommended. And then she had also recommended exercising, because I don't really. I mean, unless you count chasing after my 2-year-old exercise, then yes, I do that. But otherwise, not so much. And I've never really been, some people are just born into like athleticism. No, not this girl. I mean, the only sport, I don't even like organized sports. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that is totally true. I don't like playing organized sports. But I did run track in high school, middle school into high school, and not even all of it, but I did run track, mostly because it was not, you didn't have to go like up to bat or anything. You were out there always with other people who were doing the same thing as you, so you weren't the center of attention, which made me much more comfortable. But my family just wasn't a super athletic family. We just were not. And the only time I was really ever in the gym was when I was in college, because originally, I don't even know if you guys know this, my bachelor's degree is in criminal justice. I wanted to be a cop. But I've always been I was built slight. And in order to be able to pass the physical, I was going to the gym regularly to try to meet the requirements. The big one, I could meet all of them. Even the running, even the time that you had to complete the mile. My biggest problem, because I am a smaller framed female, was that you had to bench press 80% of your body weight. Which really was not a lot at the time. I weigh more now, not that it matters, but but I could not do it. Like I could not do it. And so I kept having to go to the gym trying to get some gains for that. But then the next time after that in my life that I went to the gym was after I had my son. So it was my first child. And, I went, to the gym to try to lose my baby weight. And so I did that and, was really consistent with it. And then once I lost the weight and I was able to keep it off, I didn't really I've had like spurts here and there of working out. Obviously as you get older, your metabolism changes, things change. And especially after you have children, things take a turn. Don't let that dissuade you if you want to have kids, but they do. So I was like, well, I haven't really ever, done it without a purpose, like to just go. And I guess my purpose is, to help get my anxiety under control. But the combination of those two things, I decided to start going to yoga. Yoga was one of the things that they recommended. There was a yoga studio that had recently, within the last year or so, opened up in the city that I lived in. There was very reasonable rates and they had like a drop-in class. And so even before I went to Cape Cod, I started going to yoga class. And, y'all, your girl is not flexible. Okay. Let's just call it what it is. Like all of these beautiful, strong, wonderful women are like bent over with their heads touching the floor and their palms flat. And I'm like, I can touch my shins. That's all I got for you. That's all I got. And I know that it'll get better, like the more consistently that I go, but I could not believe how like just stiff I was. My hamstrings were sore. I just have lost any and all flexibility whatsoever. Comically, I then come home because because misery loves company. I come home and then I try to make my husband do the same moves that I had to do in yoga class. And I try to teach them to him. It's very funny. And then, of course, like, you know, my little jelly bean, she wants to do whatever mommy is doing. So she also tries to do them, which is the cutest thing that you ever saw in your life. But so, yeah, I've been doing that. And then I believe I told you guys, you know, they had told me, like, you're going to have to get out of the house. You're going to have to be driving consistently. You know, you're going to have to do these things in order to make sure that, you're basically, you know, my anxiety doesn't take over and I become agoraphobic. So I've been doing book club as well. Now, I will be honest with you, I have read the last 2 books, but I did not go to the last 2 book clubs. The one before the last one, was because I didn't finish the book in time. And I was like 3/4 of the way through it. And I was like, they're going to tell me how it ends if I go to book club. And I can't, it will be ruined. So I chose not to go. And then this last time, it was just a really nice day out and my kids wanted to play outside and my husband was home, you know, which he isn't always home in the evenings, but he was home and we had the opportunity to spend time together as a family. And I was like, yeah, I read the book, but I'm going to skip it. And no regrets. It was well worth it to stay at home and kind of play. And I did still get out of the house-ish. We were outside the whole time. Little Jelly Bean's super into bubbles right now. My Peanut is super into riding his bicycle. And she has, what do they call it? It is a bike, but it's like a seat, but it also, like the seat has a handle on it so you can push them. What do you call that even? I don't know. She calls it her bicycle, so that's what we call it. But I don't think that's the real word for it. It's like a little trike thing. Anyway, it's got a handle, you can push her. So we've been, you know, pushing her around with that. She loves the bubbles. The other day, Peanut and some of his like neighborhood friends were over and we were playing soccer-like in the backyard. And again, let me reiterate that I am not athletic. So that was interesting. Because also, I don't know the rules of soccer. Like, not all of them. My husband was he played soccer when he was younger and he was very well versed and was able to tell me all of the body parts I could touch the soccer ball with and the ones that I could not. I did not realize that it was so specific. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But I had no idea. I just knew you couldn't touch it with your hands. That was the only one that I knew. So we did that. That was a good time. I know I had talked to you guys before about the kits and actually Linda, one of my, well, I mean, I know her in real life, but she had sent me a text and was like, hey, did you ever sell your kits? I still plan to do that. I know that it's been a minute since we've talked about it and nothing's kind of come to fruition. I do still have plans to do that. So just wait for the announcement. I do plan on being able to do that. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to offer it to you guys. Let's go back to the card here for a second because I just want to point this out. So you can see we're coloring the things. This adorable little walrus, my hot pink snake. She's my she snake. And then I colored this ribbon green. That was a mistake. I was thinking like, oh, I'll color the box pink and then I'll have a green ribbon and they're complementary colors and that look really nice to each other. But the placement of that particular turtle in the card background meant that my green bow was going to go right over my green ink blending and I was really worried you wouldn't be able to see it. So I am going to come back and change that. Just keep that in mind. You know, if you're ever coloring and you're like, I don't really love this color where I've put it, as long as you pick a color on either side of it on the color wheel, you should be able to change the color without it being muddy and having any issues. So in this case, I chose green. I could cover it up with yellow or blue. Those are next to it on the color wheel. I kind of wish I would have done blue, but I did yellow. It is what it is. So I do have, the craft roulette tonight. And little Jelly Bean has started swim lessons, so we've been doing that as well. It is strange, like, because Peanut did swim lessons, but he did them when he was older, so we never had to be in the water with him. Because she's so little, we do have to go in the water with her, and they want you they want you to like dunk your baby underwater. I mean, she's not a baby. I know she's a toddler, but they want you to like dunk her there, so that she can get used to having water in her face, or all the toddlers can get used to having water in their face, and then how to react with that. And I totally understand the premise of it, but I can tell you as a parent, it goes against every instinct in my body to force her underwater. I'm not very good at it. My husband, and probably because he's more practical and he's like, he knows long term, like it's for her betterment, that if she, can go underwater and come up and then learn how to cope with that, that means she's less likely to panic if she, falls into water. And I understand that on a regular kind of like rational level, but to actually bring myself to dunk her underwater, I get so, like, you want to talk about anxiety? I'm so anxious. I don't like it at all. But she really does very good with it. And then they always have like kind of a fun, we do the kicks and the pulls and climbing up out of the pool. She learns that, but then there's always like a fun aspect. So one time it was a slide, like she would go down the slide into the water, and it's just like a little styrofoam slide. Don't think like big pool slides. And then another one that they did was like a little boat where they had little paddles and they could get inside the boat and then they would paddle around. That one was really cute. So we're alternating is what we're doing. So one week, Eric is getting in with her to go swimming, and then the following week I will get in with her to go swimming. So this coming weekend is my weekend to go swimming with her. Also, it really, really made me appreciate a pool heater because their water is so nice. And like we had a really mild summer last year, so even though we have a pool, because we don't have a pool heater, we did not get as much use out of it. Or I shouldn't, Nathan will get in there, Peanut will get in there, whether it's cold or it's not. I am a little less likely to get in there if it's cold, and I worry about putting her in if it's cold. But there's this like really nice room temperature, fantastic, like must save pennies for a pool heater is really how I'm feeling about it after our first lesson. So yeah, so that's what we have going on this weekend. I'll have some videos. I'm super behind on sharing, like I've been making, but I feel like I'm like 2 steps behind like everybody else. That's what I feel like. Like I had a video that I was going to put up for the Spellbinder sale, and I was just like, just too late. I mean, it's still going on, but I had other responsibilities that I had to meet. So like I finished those cards, but I didn't edit the video. So those cards are done, but there's no video yet. And I just feel like the last couple of weeks have been like that. So hopefully I'm able to get more on track, coming up with the other things that I have, because it never stops. You guys know this, there's always something to be done, made, deadline met, all of that jazz. And I'm just, I don't know. Spring is normally my most inspired time, but it seems like lately I am just having a really hard time getting the things done. I'm struggling a little bit more with that. So, yeah, hopefully that will, whatever that phase is that I'm in will kind of pass by. And I'll be able to get back on track. So here you can see we're all the way down to coloring the little shadows and the edges of the die cuts. And we're almost to the end of the card. We just have a couple of little last minute things to do as far as adding the details of things, which is going to be, your white gel pen, your glitter pen. These, I do want to talk about them, and you only get to see them for just a minute, because I didn't do the gluing of them on screen. But you guys have heard me say this before. I love Trinity Stamps little baubles. And well, any of their like rhinestones, their embellishments is what I should say. But I did pick a rainbow of them, and I have to tell you, I'm totally loving them. There's like two, one of them is called Baubles with an A, Baubles, and those ones are solid, like you can't see through them. But there's other ones that are bubbles, the candy, they're like blue and the pink, the candy pink bubbles and the raspberry bubbles. Those are like more transparent, so you can kind of see through them. Fantastic. I love these so much. They're so good. But I use them, what did I use them for the last time? I think I used them for a shaker, and you guys probably saw them, but this time I actually used them to accent, because you can see in the layout, like on that bottom right hand side, it's a little bit empty. I thought about putting a cupcake in there, but then my cupcake would have, like, for scale, would have had to have been the size of a cake that you would totally jump out of. So that wasn't really going to fit. So I just stuck to the critters. I still think it came out super cute. I love that it has the From All of Us in this stamp set, because typically when I'm giving a card, you know, it's from our whole family. So I do appreciate that. Here, I'm just going in and putting in those little white highlights. I just think it gives the character's character, if that makes sense. And then, of course, I'm adding my little shimmers and my shines. So anyway, I do hope that you will check out some of those sales, support, you know, those businesses. And then also, please come visit me on Craft Roulette tonight. Just because I'm a little bit apprehensive about how it's going to go. And by the time you see this video, honestly, it might already be going on. Just head over. Like, you can always come back to this guy. He'll still be here. Just head over for the live version. So putting on the little baubles is going to be the end of it. This is the whole card. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I always appreciate your time, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.